Hello everyone, I hope you're having a nice time today. Today I want to show you some VS Code tips that can speed up your coding process. So this video is a combination of some keyboard shortcuts, a few extensions, and some other tips that can speed up your coding process. The bottom line is that you should spend a lot of time with your keyboard instead of your mouse. So in this video I'll be spending a lot of time with my keyboard instead of my mouse. So the first one among the tips is that you can create your folders and files with just one line. So all you need to do is come to this side of VS Code, make sure your sidebar is toggled. You can press Ctrl B to toggle it. So click on new file and then the name of your folder. Let's say I want to call this folder project, followed by /. You can append another folder. Let's say this folder is for front end. You can also append another folder inside of your front end folder. You probably have src folder, so I'm going to type src followed by / again, and then the name of the file with the extension. So here I'm going to create an HTML file. Let me just say index.html. I hit enter and this is it. So in just one line, you've created a bunch of folders and a file. So make sure you click on new file here instead of new folder. If you click on new folder, it's not going to work. So that's the first tip, and actually I can prove to you that those folders were really created. So let me just say ls here. So I have the project folder. Let me change directory to the project folder. cd project. Inside the project folder I should have my front end. That's front end. Then inside front end there should be src. Let me change directory to the front end. cd front end ls. That's src. If I change directory to src again and I do ls, I should see the index.html file, which is this. So that's it. And as you can see, I'm doing things in the terminal. If you don't know how to work with the terminal, I have a whole video on it that I released a couple of days ago, and I'm going to put it in the description below. So that's the first tip. So the second tip is that you can copy or cut a whole line without highlighting. So if you are using VS Code and you want to copy a bunch of lines or a single line, let's say a single line, this for a single line, all you need to do is make sure your cursor is on the line. So let's say I want to cut this line. All I need to do is place my cursor on the line and press Ctrl X, cut. If I press Ctrl V, you can see it got pasted. And if you want to just copy instead of cutting, you can do that. Make sure your cursor is on the line, press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. So that's the second tip. The next tip is you can move a line up or down without copying and pasting and cutting and pasting. So to do that in VS Code, all you need to do is hold the Alt key and press the up or down arrow, depending on wherever you want to move the line to. So I just held my Alt key and I press up arrow. You can see that line goes up. If I press down arrow, it goes up. You can move it to anywhere you want, wherever you want. The next tip is duplicating a line or a bunch of lines of code without copying and pasting or cutting and pasting. So to do this, make sure you highlight the line of code you want to duplicate. Once you highlight the code, hold your Alt key, hold Shift 2 and press the down arrow. You can see this whole service title class just got duplicated. You can duplicate it as long as you want, as many as you want. All you need to do is hold the Alt key, hold Shift 2 and press the down arrow. That's it. The next tip is renaming a terminal tab. If you are working on a big project, even if it's not a big project, if it's a small one, you probably have a lot of tabs of your terminal open. So here you can see I have 3 tabs of my terminal open. So it will be hard to distinguish these terminals from one another. For me, what I do is when I'm coding, what I do is I have one to run my skill, I have one tab to run my scripts, another one to install random packages, and the other one for Git. So in this case, it could be confusing to quickly identify them. All you need to do to rename a terminal tab is right click and then choose rename. So for this one, I'm just going to say React scripts, and I press enter to perform the action to rename it. And I'm going to rename this to packages. Press enter, and I'm going to rename this to Git. Let's say Git and GitHub. So that's how you can rename a terminal tab. You can also change the color. So just right click again and choose change color. So I'm going to choose green for that one for my React script. For packages, let's say I choose blue, and for Git and GitHub, let me choose magenta. So that's it. This one, it will help you identify all the tabs of terminals you have open. And if you want, you can also change the icons. Let's say for Git and GitHub, just right click again, click on change icon. Let me find a suitable icon for Git. Let's say this is probably okay. Yeah, that's it. So that's that one. The next tip I want to show you is that you can comment out a whole line of code without manually typing the comment syntax. For example, this is a CSS file. If you want to comment out in CSS, it's a /* and then to close the syntax for the comment, star again, asterisk again, and then /. So instead of doing this manually by typing it yourself, all you need to do is highlight the lines of code you want to comment out in VS Code. Press your control button, press and hold the control button, then /. You can see it creates the comment for me without typing it out myself. It doesn't matter which language you are using. If you are writing your code in Python and you highlight the lines of code you want to comment, hold control and press /, it's going to create the comment for you. The last tip I want to show you is has to do with snippets. If you are writing HTML, you can use ML to create a bunch of HTML tags in the snap of a finger. And if you write a lot of React like me, then you probably know about all these extensions that help you bring in a bunch of React codes. They are snippets, they are all around. So for element, if you are writing HTML, let's say you want to create a navbar, all you need to do is, let's say, the nav element. So that's the nav element, that's for the nav element, nav. If you want a class, you press dot and then the name of the class. Let's say this class is navbar. So inside the navbar, inside the nav element, you probably want some unordered list. So you have to specify a descendant by pressing greater than symbol. So press the unordered list tag, which is UL. Inside the unordered list, it's very sure you want to have some list elements, some list items. So you specify descendants again and press li, and then you probably want up to 5 or 6 li's. So to do that, you press ×6 or ×5, and then inside the list elements, you also want some links. So you specify descendants again and you press A to create the link. As you can see, it's already showing me what's going to get created. If I press enter, it's going to create this. That's it. And if you want to learn more about Emmet, you can check out the Emmet documentation. If you are writing React, you can use all these snippets. I have one installed on my VS Code. So this is it, ES7 React Windows GraphQL React Native snippets. So for example, you use a bunch of keys or a bunch of letter combinations to bring out some snippets. So let's say you want a React functional component, you can just say RFC. As you can see, this is it, React functional component. It's a default export, and if you want the export on a separate line, you can just say RFCE. That's it. You can see, if you want an arrow function component, you can say RAFCE. So there's a bunch of them out there, and this is my favorite of them all. So thank you everyone for watching this short video. I hope it helps you learn some tips with which you can code faster with your VS Code. So if you like the video, make sure you click the like button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you can get immediate access to my videos anytime I drop them. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice time.